Hi, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready for another gadget report. Let's talk gadgets. First of all, I would like to leave a huge shout out to Ed Anderson that kindly left me a comment on my last video about the flight MH370. It was amazing. I am in contact with Ed and he has provided me a lot of information, so stay tuned. Actually, I found out that maybe my last video has a little bit more research to be done and a little bit more stuff to come out of it. So I'm now planning a full month about MH370 and I'm in contact with Ed. He kindly offered to help me out on this. So thank you so much, Ed. It was really good to hear your comment and it was amazing the information that you have provided me so far. So stay tuned more about this issue. But let's go and start our gadget report of this week, and we are talking about something that is currently on the news, because if you are in Australia, if you are in New South Wales, there will be school holidays. This was also an event a few weeks ago with Queen's birthday long weekend, and it was also on previous holidays, the Easter holidays, where there was an absolute chaos in airports around Australia. And today we are going to talk about this, and we are going to talk about possible solutions and why does this happen in the first place. So stick around, let's talk gadgets. So let's talk gadgets. Let's go. First of all, my apologies for all the background noise. We're having a East Coast low crossing Sydney at the moment, and we have damaging winds, heavy rains. There's unfortunately a few suburbs that have already suffered with floods. So I apologize if there is the occasional downpour and you can hear a lot of noise, but it's something that I cannot control. So let's talk gadgets, let's talk flying, let's talk madness in the airports. And this is something that has been happening since the reopening of the borders in Australia. Every major occasion, holidays, etc., there's been absolute chaos in airports around Australia because people want to fly out, and obviously the situation is still not over, and there's a lack of staff and disruption on flights, etc., that cause massive queues, flight cancellations, all sorts of things. And we really need to understand that even though we are now coming to some sort of normality, we are not there yet. This is not normal yet. And the situation is pretty much still here. There's still a lot of people that are sick and cannot work, and that is affecting not only aviation, not only airlines, but everywhere, supermarkets, other shops, everywhere there's been an issue with staff being at home because they're sick. So and this has happened, for example, in the Easter holidays for the kids, has happened a few weeks ago on the Queen's birthday long weekend. And now again, because we are again on a holiday period for schools, on school holidays, and airports were absolute chaos, and that is obviously affecting the situation is affecting airports, is affecting the way people fly, etc., etc. Well, as I said, even though this may seem like getting back to normal, we're still not there yet. And one of the things that we really need to, in my view, obviously, and this is my personal view, and I understand that this does not apply to everyone because not everyone's circumstances are different and everyone's needs are different. So therefore, you cannot really say something is good for one person and it's going to be good for everyone else. And I know that, and I'm quite aware of that. This is just a generic view. It's just my view and what I would do. to try to avoid or try to mitigate this situation that is happening at the moment. So I think one of the things is planning. We need to plan. For example, of course, kids only have 2 week holiday, and if you want to go somewhere, if you want to have 1 week holiday, you can really go between the 2 weeks, so you avoid those problematic dates, though, that at the beginning of the holiday period and at the end, where everyone flies in and flies out. So if you try to think with those dates and maybe sacrifice a few days there if you wanted 2 week holidays, I would think that for the time being would be better to sacrifice those 1 or 2 days and have a much stressless holiday than just wanting to have all of it and then being stuck at airport and having all these issues, and the flight cancellations, which are also being experienced, especially in the last few weeks, because not only a lack of staff, shortage of staff due to illness, but also because of the weather, obviously, and that you all know, when the weather conditions are this bad, there is no way flights can land or take off, and sometimes that affects airports. Sydney Airport is known for its massive thunderstorms and sometimes weather events, and that can disrupt flights. I used to live right next to the airport, and I used to witness that firsthand. Nothing would move out of that airport if there is a massive thunderstorm or if there is a weather event like this. Of course, with rain it's possible, and flights land and take off around the world with rain. The problem is when there's winds and crosswinds and certain types of weather phenomena like microbursts that really can bring a plane down. And there is a lot of things about these, even programs on TV, and I've watched a lot of them for sure, that these weather events can actually bring planes down. And of course, when there's a massive thunderstorm, when there's crosswinds, when the winds are too strong, it does affect, and sometimes flights can be disrupted or even cancelled. So it's another thing on top that obviously no one wanted, but it happened. So try to be positive about it. Try to think with the dates and see if you can avoid the peak periods, the peak dates where everyone wants to fly. Then plan ahead, get to the airport as early as you can. It doesn't matter. This is my view. I would rather stay in the airport a long time waiting for my flight, but I know that I'm at the gate and I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get in my flight, there's nothing, and everything is done. I've got the check-in done, I went through whatever, immigration, quarantine, whatever, and everything is done and it runs smoothly, rather than going at the last minute, encounter massive queues, and then get late to my flight or possibly miss my flight because I got there late. So planning in advance, getting there, allowing plenty of time, rather waiting there than missing out, I would say. I know sometimes it's not easy to do this, and sometimes, for example, if you don't live that close to the airport and if you have a problem with traffic outside the airport, that can obviously hinder your plans. But if you plan ahead, I think it's always the best option. And then, of course, keep a positive mind. Try to keep yourself calm. I know it's complicated. I know it's really, really frustrated when you are in an airport in a massive queue. You have a flight to catch, but it looks like you're going nowhere because it's all you can see. And I've seen the footage on TV, and it's really overwhelming. You're just surrounded by people, and you think, oh well, when am I going to get out of here? I know how frustrating it can be. And of course, you end up being a little stressed, and especially when you see the time running, and your flights, the time for your flight is approaching. I think that the secret here is planning ahead, keep yourself calm, tinker with the dates. I think is the best, and enjoy your flight. And that's all for today. I hope you really enjoy this video about airport chaos. Not that you enjoy the airport chaos itself, I know. No one does. And I hope it really helped you, have an idea. Obviously, nothing that I have said is anything that you may not know. It's just that sometimes talking about these things and having plans and having ideas is it's a good thing. It's a good thing to try to navigate all these issues, and for everyone, the last 3 years have been very, very hard to navigate with all the disruption and all the things that happen, and it still goes on now for other factors. And of course, we really need to keep ourselves positive, and we really need to keep ourselves focused in what we want to achieve. And if that is a nice holiday somewhere, either within Australia or outside, why not? We should keep our mind positive and try to keep ourselves calm, and enjoy the best of it, and try to make it the best we can. I guess in the end, I think that's the secret. It's trying to make the best of it, even if it is a challenging situation like the one it's happening in airports at the moment. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching, and of course, I would like to ask you to put a like on the video. And of course, before I go, I would like to tell you all, if you have any experience, if you have been in the airports in the last few days and you have experienced the full force of this chaos, please share. Or if you have a plan to share, what do you do when you need to fly on these high demand periods, like school holidays, summer holidays, all these things? What do you do? How do you plan? What choices do you make? Maybe you choose a destination that is not as high in demand as many other people, so you get less affected by the chaos. Who knows? So share with us. It's always good to know everyone's experience, and put a like on the video, subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new report every week. And as I said in the beginning, stay tuned, because there'll be a full month about MH370. I've been in contact with Head Anderson, that has made a wonderful comment on my last video, and a good month is gonna come. I am not sure if it's gonna be August or will be September, but obviously I'm planning on it. I'm doing my research to have a full month dedicated to that aircraft, because I think there's a lot of things that should be said about it, and a lot of things to clarify. So see you next time. Thank you so very much for watching, and have a good one. Bye.